It's recording.
Great. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to do a video with my husband.
What's up, guys?
We're gonna do a Q&A.
Well, hey guys, some of you may know me from YouTube back in the day. I haven't done YouTube in the longest time, but hi. Before we get into questions, I actually want to say something. So, look, I don't think any relationship is 100% perfect. I think that a lot of YouTubers will come on and they'll do like a Q&A about a relationship and they're just gonna make it look like everything is rainbows and butterflies. At the end of the day, you get into relationships to grow. And a marriage, in my opinion, and I think we agree on this. Do you not want me to say that?
No, I want you to say whatever you want.
Okay. A marriage is about...
This is a safe space.
This is a safe space. I think the purpose of life is creation and evolution. So honestly, for this Q&A, I don't want to like... I want us to be real.
I wasn't planning on
I want us to be real and just be like, yeah, okay, here's what it's like.
Channel, but I always just say whatever I feel.
Okay. You're so beautiful.
You can just say whatever you want.
Hit that like button if you think Liz is just so beautiful.
Okay, don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay, anyway, so how did you guys meet?
We've kind of told this a little bit, haven't we?
We've talked about this before, but I want to clarify actually the story because I've seen some stuff online that's not true. But basically, me and Landon first met now 4 years ago.
Something like that.
4 years
3.5.
ago, Landon messaged me. He DM'd me on Instagram and he DM'd me a book that I should read. But then I was getting into my previous relationship, so we did message like back and forth.
Pretty much, one day I opened my Instagram, and this is when, I guess they still do it now, but you would get like recommended posts. And I think Liz's content was just starting to blow up. And so I got a recommended post about her account and I saw her and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, there's something special about this person. I don't know what it is. Obviously you're so beautiful, but there was something deeper. And so I was like, I'm gonna send her a message. What should I say? And then I realized like, I just want to add value. Like maybe there's something I could like put you on. And so I sent her a book recommendation for a book called The Master Key System, which is the best book I've ever read. So I highly recommend it.
I remember I looked at his pictures and you really didn't look how you look right now. Like I just thought, oh, he's so cute. He looks so nerdy, you know, like.
I think I look older now. A nerd though. Like I have a nerdy look.
Yeah, but no, now I feel like you've evolved a little bit.
Upper nerd. And, but in my head, I like adored you, to be honest. Like every time that you would send me a message, I got just uniquely excited. And also it'll tie into the story, but the first time you ever sent me a voice message, I remember I was in the LA airport trying to fly home to Dallas, and I got a voice message from you, and that like really stuck with me, and I always thought about you in airports for some reason. So
yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
Well, so fast forward then 3 years later, I went on a trip with my friend and we were going to Santorini. And this was such a last minute trip. Like, I was like, let's just go. I finally want to go out. Like, I want to just really live my life. And I had booked so last minute that we had a stop in Athens because normally it was directly to Santorini. We weren't meant to stop in Athens. And the thing I want to clarify, because a lot of people think that you stalked me.
Which is crazy, by the way. When we first got engaged and Liz posted that video, there were some comments that were like, I think this guy is like an upper stalker. He knew where she was going to be.
My friend does not have social media. Like, she doesn't have Instagram, and I never ever post my location for safety reasons. Never ever. I will only post even the background where you can recognize something when I've already left. There's crazy people out there, you know? So no way he could have known I'm in Athens, and especially there. So the crazy part is, me and my friend, we completely walked through this airport. We got like 2 cookies and we sat somewhere where we weren't supposed to sit at all. It was not our gate. It was just this random place.
This whole story is just so crazy.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then we sat there. I had like a mask on and a cap, okay? No one recognized me. No one could recognize me. We were gonna get up. We were sitting there 5 minutes, get up and go to our gate because we had our flight. Then all of a sudden, like...
this big upper nerd walks up.
Like Landon walked by and I guess you saw me.
Yeah, I saw you from like I guess, hold on, before you give like the key moment. So like
Yeah.
from my POV, like, yeah, I was dealing with, before I met Liz, I was in a relationship that was just so difficult for me. I had this attachment that I had such a hard time like really growing through and away from. And I was just kind of following this path that led me into Ibiza last summer. And I ended up meeting some people that I was going to go to Mykonos with. So it was like an Ibiza trip for 2 weeks and then a Mykonos trip. And the people that I was staying with ended up trying to scam me a couple times. They successfully scammed like $20-something thousand. And whenever I landed in Athens, which is where I was connecting to go to Mykonos, that whole trip got canceled. Like that part of it did. And so I was just sitting there and thinking, oh man, what the heck? Why is this happening? Like, God, I try to be a nice person. I believe you get what you give. So like, why is this happening to me? And I was like, you know what? Time to end my trip, go back to America. I went to go get my bags off the plane so they didn't go to Mykonos without me. And I realized I had left my backpack in a gate in airport security. And so I was like, wait, I really need that. I never lose this bag. So I went to go get my backpack. In that moment, I do remember feeling like I was being led in some way. Like there was just some path that I was supposed to walk down and follow. I didn't know why. I knew my bag was going to be right where I thought it was. I turn the corner, I get my bag. I remember I took a picture of it. It was like 4:30 p.m. I was like, oh, well, it's there. Okay, time to go home. I get my bag. I start walking to leave the airport. And as I'm walking, I try to be observant, but I'm like looking around, and then I walked a step and I felt like I entered just like a new dimension. Not to sound crazy, but I took a step forward and I felt like I walked through a veil almost. And then immediately I sensed that I need to look up right over here, and I look up and I see Liz sitting. She has a hat on. She had like a mask basically covering her face. She was eating food, so like I can't even really see her. She's sitting by her friend, and I thought, oh my God, that's Liz. And I recognized you. I had no idea, like I had never seen you before in person.
And I remember he was like, Liz, and I look up, and guys, before I even recognized him, because he didn't look like how I remember 3 years ago, and I vaguely watched like one picture, so I didn't even know what you really
Did you
looked
watch
like.
any of my videos back in the day?
No, never.
Okay,
no.
okay.
And so I saw him, and before I even recognized him, I go like, Landon? And I was like, huh? How did I even say that?
Yeah.
And it's so weird. So he went to sit next to me, and he was like explaining everything that had happened. But I remember like when we were talking, I felt such an energy come over me. Like I literally explained to my friend, I felt like everything in the airport just stopped and we were the only ones there. And I remember thinking,
I had the same. I was overwhelmed by that
me
feeling.
too.
Yeah. You're very beautiful, but that's not even at the top of the list for sure. You're so sweet.
Great. Okay, awkward now. Okay, so things I admire
You're
about...
funny. It's really funny. She is.
We're like convincing ourselves.
No, I was prepared for a question that was like, what is the most annoying thing about Liz? And I was going to say, just how much I love you.
So, the thing I love most about you is how smart you are. I love your brain.
I eat my brain.
You know, people that are in love with people's intelligence, sapiosexual. Yeah, that's me. And you're very kind. You're very like helpful with everyone. What's the age difference between the two of you?
That's another interesting thing. So our age difference is 1 month. We have a 1 month gap. So we're very similar in a lot of ways, and we're also basically the same age.
I'm a Gemini, he's an Aries. It is a good combo. I can see why it's good. Because I feel like we both don't take things too seriously. Not that emotional.
I think, so Aries like structure. And like they like order and these sort of things, and we're high energy people, and Gemini are high energy people too.
We're both very impulsive.
I think it's a good mix because an Aries can kind of ground a Gemini. Yeah. By the way, when I first met Liz, something that really impressed me, like I'm not really big into star signs and astrology. I know a lot more about it now, but one thing that just blew my mind, bless you, bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
One thing that just blew my mind is she's able to meet somebody and then instantly within one sentence be like, oh, by the way, you're probably a Cancer, right?
I'm not really a jealous person.
I kind of am.
You are.
Yeah, naturally I'm more
And
of a...
very possessive.
to be honest.
And very controlling.
But you're my girl.
Yeah, okay.
You're my baby.
Yeah, he's very, very controlling. Anyone that has dated an Aries man, comment below, because you guys know how controlling.
Very, very... What does that look like to you, huh? Putting you on the spot. How am I very controlling?
It's just like, you know how, imagine I'm doing something and you don't agree. Then you'll go every possible way to make me not do that thing. Like, anything you can bully.
No, whoa. Don't
You
say
are
that.
controlling.
No, they're gonna think I'm like holding you hostage.
No,
like, blink twice.
No.
Like, no.
We're red in the next
No.
video. if you know.
Okay. I guess there have been times where you want to make last minute plans, and I'm like, whoa, this isn't what we talked about. Like, don't do this. But that's more of like, I think that's more of like a controlling for us sort of thing.
I
Not
often will
controlling
say
for
things to him just to say them, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and I was never gonna do that, but just to like make
This is
him
what
a
I was
little
talking about at
angry.
the beginning. This is it.
No, who said I love you first?
Oh my god, I told this creature, what's a creature?
Creature. This thing over here.
I told this woman that I loved her within 36 hours of knowing her, and I literally told her within 36 hours, I was like, look, this is gonna sound like a lot, and I'm sorry, because I know it's weird, but I know I'm supposed to marry you, and that's weird as heck, but
Yeah.
like, is what it is.
And I was like, great.
She's like, "Alright."
I was like, great.
I think the hardest part of marriage, two things that come to mind. As I said at the beginning, you have to learn how to grow with somebody. And no couple is 100% compatible, but you have 90% in the right place, and then there's that 10 that you feel needs to be worked on. Like, that is the work that needs to be done in a good relationship. And that's the work that, you know, we've signed up for and that we're doing. And it's not always easy to do that work. Like, this is part of it. Like, yeah, we're gonna have arguments here and there. Yeah, you're gonna think I'm an idiot at times. Remembering that that's part of it is hard. But
Yeah. I think for me, the hardest part about marriage is honestly living with someone, like especially a man.
Are you saying I'm hard to live with?
No, I told you this. The reason why I never wanted to get married was because I don't want like someone constantly around me. I love my alone space. I think I like really can connect with myself a lot when I am alone. So sometimes, like, even when we're living together, I really missed living alone because I was like, oh, I had my own space, could like get ready and then go on a date with you. It wasn't like getting ready in front of you. Like, it was just so much space for myself. That's the hardest part for me, is having more alone space.
Then, like, the second I'm gone, you're like, oh my god, I miss you so
Yeah,
much. Where
yeah,
are you?
of course. I think also we both work from home. Normal couple goes to work, you know, and like 9 to 5, and then they see each other in the evening or something. But we see each other a lot. Like,
Well, we're also homebodies too.
yeah,
so, like,
we
Liz
don't
and I,
go really anywhere.
how we're thinking about things that are really esoteric, like not super interesting for a lot of people. The list goes on. Like, how long do you want me to go about what I love about you?
Very long, but you can continue after this video.
I've been through worse in my life. This will most definitely not break me. Women, choose yourself and walk away from the first time.
I don't expect you guys to understand, but I hope you take into consideration that you can make a mistake and get better. And this isn't just a mistake, right? Like, this is breaking trust, but I realized what I did was wrong. and it's never going to happen again. Doesn't mean it's okay, but I don't expect you guys to understand, but I hope you take into consideration that you can make a mistake and get better. And this isn't just a mistake, right? Like, this is breaking trust, but I realized what I did was wrong. Very final thing. Look, I fucked up huge. I'm not a perfect person. I made a mistake, a huge mistake. And although that's the case, like, I genuinely am curious if you guys believe that people can make mistakes and get better. And I genuinely pray that in the event that I am able to clearly demonstrate that this is not who I am, this is not who I want to be, this is not who I will be moving forward, for the sake of my family and Liz, most importantly Liz, that if I am able to earn her trust back and earn her respect back, that you do not evil eye the shit out of her or my family. You can hate me. This is a big mistake. Redeemable or not, all I ask is that you give me enough grace where if that's what's supposed to happen here. Very final thing. Look, I fucked up huge.